Good evening. Welcome to the Mancunian way. As you can see, we've changed a few things around. I hope you all enjoy it. We're trying to make things look a little bit more unique, a little bit more us. Been working on it for a couple of weeks now. Me and somebody else. I want to say a big thank you to the person. They know who they are, who have helped put all this together. Good morning, Pat. How are you?
Hello, Martin. Hello, everyone out there. Hope we're all doing well. Yes, I do like the changes. Martin, I think you're becoming like the Madonna of city YouTube channels and that. You love reinventing yourself, and it's good. It's refreshing. It's new.
No, it's more about sort of
bucking a trend, if you want to. Yeah, indirectly saying you're bucking a trend.
You know, when you don't like certain things, you know, when you look at things and you think there's something I'm not quite with on that.
Yeah.
And it bugs you for a bit. And I just like thinking, I want to keep it going refreshed. We're not going to change. The idea is to change it once a year, not change it every 6 months. This we see now, as long as everyone's happy with it. The music, the reason we chose that music is because we wanted to go for a bit of the old Stone Roses Joy Division, because the idea is with the Mancunian way. Yes, Manchester City are a global football club. 1000% agree with that, know that, and everything else. But the one thing that we wanted to do on the channel was, yes, City Extra, everyone's all got their own individual unique USP selling points. But what I wanted to do was make it Mancunian, because we are the Mancunian way. So I wanted to go with a little bit. That's why some of the music was a little bit, and it's very hard as well. Because when I spent 4 hours last night going through so much music, you know, all the copyright free stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
It took 4 hours, me and the other guy, to sit there and put it all together and which one we thought was the same one and what looked good for different things. And I'll be honest with you, and this is no dig, is the graphics last time were brilliant, but they reminded me of something else that I used to be on, which is not a bad thing because it was a great channel, but I wanted to be completely unique. I didn't want people to look at us and think, that's just a rip-off of the old channel, if that makes sense. Yeah. And it was just something playing in my mind. But anyway, yes, good evening. Alan was meant to be joining us. I don't know why. I don't know whether he's bottled himself. Rich was meant to be joining us. I don't know why. Oh, hang on. Rich is now sending me all that.
Just a little occupied. He's just a little occupied at the moment.
Yeah, Rich is joining us, just dealing with something. I don't know where Alan is. You know, Nunes was decent today, so he's disappeared. KDB played today, so he's disappeared. I don't know why. But yeah, we'll get into it anyway. How are you, mate?
Yeah, all good here. All good. Not the most convenient time to be up watching the Blues play. It'll be 1 a.m. on a Monday morning, but I made the most of it, and overall happy with everything, and a nice way to start the week over here. That's for sure.
Super. By the way, little hint. I know who the real Alec Johnson is because he's a member. So whoever is trying to, mess him around and everything else, we know who our real people are. Oh, he's here. He's joined us. Morning.
Morning, Martin. I'm sorry I was a bit late. I had to go and sort something out for my mother at her house around the corner.
Well, was you sending an apology email to Nunes?
Let's look at who we're playing. Really, we're playing Huddersfield.
Oh yeah, I told you. I knew this was coming up. I knew the old dog and duck excuse would walk back out again.
It literally was the dog and duck. It literally was the dog and duck.
Yeah. Alan, you talk waffle. Thank you, Dean, as well, for your lovely comment. Yes, we have changed things, as just explained. Adam Quinn throwing up the old European trophies there. Liverpool fans are shouting quad. Don't know why they're shouting quad, because they can't win the quad. Anyway, good evening, Jay. Don, how are you? Let us know what you think about the new layout and the graphics. As you can see, we've changed the backgrounds. I'm just going to show. So I'm just going to remove everyone.
I saw the new tunes as well. That was very good as well. I quite liked it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of Stone Roses,
yeah.
Joy Division vibes.
Yeah. So you fancied a change, did you, for this year?
We're trying to go with like Mancunian way, Mancunian music, Mancunian sort of intro a little bit.
You could say the background, not including the blue, it kind of looks like the back of like a really good quality like iPad case.
Yeah, true.
Like a carbon fiber iPad case.
Yeah.
Like it's reassuring. If you ever dropped it, it wouldn't smash.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. The Ace fan meltdown. Listen, we're going to talk about the Arsenal. Listen, Arsenal fans do not learn. Lee Gunner on to tell them the truth. Yeah. Listen, do you know my issue with Arteta is quite simply stop trying to be Pep Guardiola. When you stop trying to be Pep Guardiola and become Mikel Arteta, you may get some joy. Good evening, 11. How are you? Evening to all. Yeah, by the way, if you did go and watch United 320 podcast earlier, you missed a great show. If you didn't, get over there and show a lot of love to and the gang over there. Trolls keep saying, yeah, just ignore them, mate. Good evening, Blue Goat. How are you, DC? We've even put Pat into the thumbnails now. So you'll know who's coming on because you'll now start getting the faces within the thumbnails as well. Apart from Alan. I don't know where to go with Alan's face. Philip Walter Foden yet again. Oh, we're going to talk about him. I know a lot of City channels have gone down the KDB road, and I get it, and I fully respect it, and I agree with it. But I'm showing a lot of love to Phil Foden tonight because I'm just...
It was excellent. It was excellent, wasn't it?
Alan, you need to either move your camera or do something because you.
Well, the thing is, because the internet's not great down there, I'm using my phone, and I'm back in Melbourne on Wednesday, so I've only got a couple of days, and I'm back in to normal internet. So I'll be right. Don't worry.
Church music. What church music have you heard that's like that, Andy?
According to the Gospel of Hacienda.
Alan is going to have a right go, isn't there? Listen, we'll get to Alan in a minute. Exactly, Super Sir. Thank you. Joy Division Stone Roses. That's what we were going for. KDB looked good today. Yeah. Not bad for someone who was never going to play for the next month and a half, according to someone on the bottom half of your screen.
Oh, here we go. I'll have a go at Alan time, innit? That's why you were so disappointed.
You were on the stage.
You were so disappointed that I wasn't on at the start. You're thinking, he's bottled, he's not coming on. I can't have a go at anyone. Yeah.
No. You, in front of about 50 odd people the other night, went, KDB won't be here for about 2 months.
Listen, it was very nice to see him back. I did okay, as long as he didn't get injured, which was a relief. But Akanji's injured. Do you know how bad Akanji is, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, DC. Is that because Pat's on the thumbnail now? Is that why you like the new graphics, DC?
Yeah.
KDB, move on quick. KDB was okay, nice assist. I want Ipswich Town and Blackburn Rovers, Wrexham or Wigan in the next round. Jeez, you just want half the pot there, don't you, Adam?
He wants something that, you get home at a reasonable hour.
Is what he means.
Close, yeah. No, we don't want Wigan.
Close?
No, we don't want Wigan.
Ipswich Town ain't close.
Oh, no, I was looking at Blackburn, Wrexham and Wigan.
Trust me, you don't want to be going to Ipswich Town. It is one hell of a
journey. Oh, no. I know.
It's a long way.
It's a bit too long way. I mean, I have been in. It's quite it's a great area. Been to Norwich and Ipswich, but I've never decided what was worse, Palace away or Ipswich and Norwich away. I could never decide which was the worst away grounds to even get near.
Some of those, few I've spoken to said those trips to Wales have been a bit of a drag as well.
Yeah. Cardiff wasn't bad because it was more motorway driving. The problem is with East Anglia,
what about Swansea?
It's all A roads.
It is all right. Okay. I must admit, going
single carriageway in that.
I've been to both. It's hard work. At least you can go by train.
Quick one. Can you email me after the show, the real one? Because I know who it is. I know who it will be. Can you email me? I've got an idea for you, mate, and how we can stop this. I've got an idea. Diaz doesn't look the same this season. I don't think he was that bad, but we'll get into it. Evening Blues. Good evening, BB. Hope you're well, mate. Will the real Ali Johnson please stand up? Morning, Rich.
Morning.
How are you?
Everyone? Good.
Rich was late because he was sending me photographs that should have come about 3 weeks ago.
No, he was late because the
some photographs didn't come at all.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you're in the post.
I was going to be all Aussie and say the Sparky had turned up, but you'd probably all think I was talking about a former City manager or something.
Yeah. I'm just getting through as many comments as we can because we always like to read your comments, and then we'll get into it all. Is it possible to get more emojis for I am going to change them up as well, Dr. Footer. I can't get more emojis without upping the membership price, and I don't want to do that because we're not about doing that on the channel where we're not in it for money. We're in it to sort of, the 99p was a thank you. Towards the channel to help it grow. If people wanted to contribute, because a few people had asked us, and also we wanted to give back on it because we don't.
I love the idea, Martin, that anyone would want to pay 5 cents towards any of these faces being turned into emojis. Jeez, I mean, you got the Beatles, and I don't know what band we'd be called.
Oscar Bob looks so good every time. I'm going to go into that, Daniel, because I wasn't that impressed with him today. I'll be straight with you. I wasn't impressed with either winger today. Second half was good, especially the energy. I'm the only one in the section just popular. Foden with these daisy cutting long shots. No worries, Alec. Great win. Arsenal meltdown. It's always good. I hope Akanji is okay. Has been, you know what? I hope Akanji is okay because it was a disgusting challenge. And the Huddersfield Town fans hang your head in shame because your attitude was disgusting when he went off.
It looked like the inside of his knee as well. Is it your medial? It looked like it was the inside of his knee that he was worried about.
You could tell because as soon as he come on, he went straight back down again. I hope we hear more from Alan tonight. You're always cutting off. Shut up, you. We wind up. And you sat there smiling right now. Watched the Liverpool and Arsenal game. Thought both were poor. Oscar Bob's going nowhere. He'll be like Rico. Nice graphics, nice tunes. Thank you. We're just trying to make it a bit livelier, as we say. Arteta trying to be Pep like trolls, trying to be me. True Pat Unbreakable like a good quality iPod case. Oh, I didn't put your dog on the thumbnail, did I? Hi, it's MCF Alec. Can't see my matches on my main anymore, so I'm on this one. Now, what at A1M, thank you for renewing your membership for the 7th month. That is amazing, mate. Thank you so much. That is really, really appreciated. And thank you so much for your continued support. It's not fair to be carrying Arteta to Guardiola. No, I just think Arteta needs to stop trying to be. Simply red. Yeah, he's more of a red. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, fellas. The ITK, lads. I'm no ITK, mate. Foden was so good. We're going to talk about that. KDB is a magnificent footballer. It's as simple as that. It really is. Foden is playing so well at the moment. He's so good in midfield. Can't wait for the KDB and Foden. That is filth. It's just pure filth to have Foden and KDB in the middle together. And the lads will talk about that as well. Herbal, welcome to the members club. You are very much welcome, and you are now entered into the monthly prize draws, mate, where you can go over and you will be, if you are picked out the hat, you will stand a chance to win a free monthly prize giveaway. Thanks to our super person, Andy, over at 9320 Pubcast. And he does amazing. Andy's in the chat. If you want to plug your website, stick it in, mate. Herbal, so thank you so much. And has also gifted 5 Mancunian Way memberships out as well to the community, which is amazing. Thank you so much. It really is amazing. Good evening, Vader. How are you?
I'm good. Good evening, guys. Good to see you.
Was you giving Gal some nice therapy?
I was. I told him he's got a generational manager. This is just a little blip. You should just ride it out. He'll be fine. He wasn't listening to me though.
Oh dear. Oscar Bob been very, very good. He's like a wasp. I just think Oscar Bob was a very good player. He's a very good player. Do I think he was great today? No. Just personal opinion. But I don't think either winger was very good today. But anyway, we'll get into it. So Manchester City rolled out this afternoon, playing Huddersfield Town. We know loads of players were missing. I will come back to your comments in just a minute. But the Blues lined up, probably as a lot predicted. Stefan Ortega in net, Manuel Akanji, Ruben Diaz, Josko Gavario, Gomez. In the middle was Lewis and Kovacic. Lewis wasn't in the middle for very, very long. Again, someone else who I think's got an amazing potential, but was very in and out of the game today. Oscar Bob, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Julian Alvarez. The bench for the first time in many, probably in my opinion, the first time in weeks, had options off it, which could change the game, with Kyle Walker, Nathan Ake, Jeremy Doku, Rodri, which was the surprise inclusion because everyone thought he was still in Madrid, Kevin De Bruyne, Mateus Nunes, Edison, Jacob Wright, and Micah Hamilton. Huddersfield lined up with Nichols in the goal, Spencer Lees, Halleck, Edmonds, Green, and Jackson as a back 5, which was majority back 9 most of the game. Wheels, Redoni, Matos, and Karoma. And the only decent player that, in my honest opinion, Huddersfield had today was up front in Thomas, who I thought was trying to do a Calvin Phillips impression because he looked the spit of him. Don't know if anyone else thought that, but he looked the spit of him.
Now that you mention it, I get what you're saying.
If you look at him now, I'm sorry, I sat there going, it's Calvin Phillips in a Huddersfield shirt. But anyway, Pat, what did you think of the lineup when you saw it?
Oh yeah, I couldn't really critique it too much. It's good for rotation. It's good for players who deserve to have a start against this opposition. So for me, I was happy all around. It was good. It was refreshing to see Gvardiol playing at centre back. Feels like it's the first time this season he's playing at centre back, and he showed us too just how good of a centre back he can be. Apart from that, I was happy with everything on paper and on the pitch as well too. I thought it was solid. You'll have to excuse me though because I did sleep in until just after the first goal, so I kind of missed the start of things. But Martin, I put a comment in the bloody chat thing for you. If you're not going to read it, then don't bother. But yeah, look, for me it was just those last 15.
Whoa, sunshine! Take the passive aggressiveness away right now.
Pat. I fell asleep in the last 10 minutes as well. I was laying down watching it. So
if you're going to do it, you did it at the right time. So
yeah, last 10 minutes I fell asleep. So there you go.
Yeah. I woke up 5 minutes before the game and stayed awake for the whole game.
So Rich and Vader, well done. Congratulations, boys. True fans.
Yeah, well, it's in the middle of the morning here, mate. It's middle of the night. So for us guys, so we have got excuses.
We were only playing the dog and duck in your eyes, Alan. We understand.
Well, it wasn't quite a dog and duck. More with the white horse, who was slightly better.
Alan, is there any team we played this season you rate?
Yeah, it's when we use when Nunes doesn't play.
Oh dear.
See Martin, he's looking at this.
Look, I was happy. I was happy with what it was on paper, and I liked the way we played in the first half. Of what I got to say.
The side was a strong side that was more than capable of turning over Huddersfield, and they did. To be fair,
was you all right with that team then, Alan? No issues.
Yeah, seriously, I was. Considering the opposition, it was a bit of rotation, gave some players a chance, which was good to see, and I was quite happy. Yeah.
Spot on. Vader, you think of the lineup? All right with it? Any surprises for you?
Surprises. No, I was calm with the lineup. I liked to your point, when you set this all up, I like looking at the bench and seeing the number of options. Mind you, I didn't think that much of it would have been needed because I was praying for everyone to be healthy throughout the game. But to see who was available was great. So I was happy with that starting 11.
I agree with that, Wilco, because that's how it looked from where I was sat. It looked like he gave Grieco a clobber in the face and then went and did a kanji at the same time. He was determined.
What about the player who basically gave Gomez a bloody nose, and yet somehow Gomez was the one who got the foul?
Pep went mad at that.
Yeah,
Pep went psycho at that one on Gomez. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the referee was doing. It bamboozled me today. Rich,
I think it was a good team to see. Particularly getting Doku and De Bruyne off the bench, I think was fantastic.
Yeah.
Getting them some game time, seeing some of the kids, another 18-year-old making a debut. I think there was 5 academy players on the pitch by the end, which I think I always love to see, especially when, players come in and, we're in control. So they're really, you're not noticing really that there is any academy players on the pitch. I'm looking forward to us getting Erling back, and then we need the greatest of them all, Johnny Stones. But no, I think things, for all that's happened over the last few months, things seem to be settling into January, touch wood, in a really good place, which is why we need to sign a Rodri backup now.
Yeah, we do. But the problem is, Richard, is I know Juventus have pulled out of the Phillips deal, and it's down to his wages. They can't agree on wages. That's why they've walked away.
Hang on, bit of ITK here. Here we go.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Like I said the other day, the problem will be, can clubs afford his wages? And that is the question that I've got. I don't think there's many clubs in Europe that could afford what he's currently getting at the moment. Yes, he's going to have to take a drop, but I don't think he wants to.
Yeah, and I think
Newcastle.
You're talking about Cal.
The fact he didn't play means
he wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah,
wasn't even on the bench.
Well,
that says something to me. Unless he's injured, that says something.
It's
to
an
me.
English club. An English club, yeah. If it was Juventus,
there's only very few can afford his wages in England at the moment. Let's hope we've got another alternative.
Who? Newcastle could afford it.
Yeah, but they don't want to pay the fee, do they? Because of
no, but apparently we're looking at lowering it, Alan.
Are we? Right, okay, good. I don't think...
There it is, www.savageonlinestore.co.uk. They've got some amazing stuff, including world champion stuff now. So get over there, really good rates. And if you say as well, you've been sent by the Mancunian way, Andy will do you a deal, I assure you. Honestly, it's amazing. Thoughts on the atmosphere? I will talk about that in a bit because I thought it was crap. Again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it anymore. It was poor. Huddersfield was singing do football in a library, and it was, apart from sections of the south stand, and again 1-1-10 and 1-1-1 were doing the singing. I got told to shut up by a woman today, trying to sing.
Well, that's the family stand for you, though, isn't it?
Alan, it's like that everywhere now, mate. Now,
really. Jesus, that's not good.
I know you want to have the little dig at the family stand. Yeah.
I just think it's in the wrong place. That's my personal opinion.
But you can't put kids on level 3 out the way in the corner.
Well, we might have to do that when that new stand's built.
No, because that new stand's going to be majority corporate, Alan. Looks like.
We'll see, won't we?
Yeah, we will see, because they've already admitted it was generally going to be more corporate.
Well, I don't think the family stand are going to stand up, because that's going to be the lower tier is going to be stood up, safe standing. So I don't think the kids are going to be there.
The corporate should be
Alan, quick one. Where's the hotel going?
At the back.
At the back of where?
That new stand.
Right. So what do you think they're going to want from the hotel?
Well, they're going to what the international people travelling. So I think it'd be more of a red cafe type scenario.
Right. So they're going to want direct access from the hotel straight into the stand.
Yeah, but the bottom tier, mate, the bottom tier is going to be safe standing, pal. So if that's the case, you're not going to have.
Is that again breaking news we know now?
Yeah. It's going to be safe standing. So I can't see the family stand being there, mate. So you're going to have to move. And let's hope it's on level 3 somewhere.
I love the way Alan tells people who goes to games they've got to move.
Yeah, they're going to have to move again.
I don't think Alan has.
So we should just recommend which is the best long life battery then for Alan's remote.
Oh, here we go. Oh, stick a knife in, stick it there. It is.
Yeah,
Alan, I'm not the one. You're the one who comes out with the Nunes agendas, and everyone just reads them, mate. I can't help you.
No. Mate, he can only do it against substandard teams. Let's be completely honest with you.
Okay, Foden can only do it against substandard teams.
No, Nunes. Foden's a brilliant player.
Evening, Peter. How are you? Anyway, Alan, we'll go on to your agenda in a bit. Can we talk? I need to talk about Phil Foden.
Brilliant.
And anyone can jump in and go around. Because, listen, Phil Foden, for me, has been so mistreated by rivals. And I'll be straight with you. I think he's very underrated by some of our own fan base as well. I don't think, this is not all, some, I don't think he's ever had the credit. Oh, I don't think City fans, and maybe it's a City fan thing, we don't seem to do this bigging up our own players. But Phil Foden, I'm going to big up to the cows come home.
It's not though, Martin. I think most City players get underrated. Apart from, I think De Bruyne has broken that glass ceiling. But if you follow football in the Premier League the last 5 years, the best player in every position has been a Liverpool player until the last 18 months when they've been an Arsenal or a Liverpool player. And you look at any of the pundits' teams of the season, it'll be 4 Arsenal, 4 Liverpool, 3 Spurs, and City player won't get a look in because no one wants to give credit to City players. And I think this, for me, De Bruyne's broken that ceiling. I think universally pundits and other fans will say he's the best midfielder in the Prem. But I think David Silva was criminally underrated. Bernardo Silva, criminally underrated. John Stones, criminally underrated. Phil Foden, criminally underrated. Phil Foden plays a different sport to the likes of Saka this season. His quality, his adaptability, and what he offers in hard games as well as easy ones is a different level. And you'll have people say, he can't do it in a big game. Well, Phil came off the bench in the Champions League and was the best player in that final. And, ultimately, and was, doing pirouettes and should have scored the goal of, the decade in the Champions League in the final. I mean, he's an incredible player, but because he doesn't play for Liverpool or Arsenal and they seem to think they automatically have the best of everything, he just doesn't get recognised. It's I think Kyle Walker's only just getting the recognition he deserves. He was the best fullback in the Prem 4 years ago, but it's only really when he turned 33 that people, and we won the treble, that people started recognising Kyle Walker for being as good as he is. And I think the City England players get it worse than the non-England players. I mean, Grealish from our fans and from other fans, Grealish played in the best team in the world for 2 years. He's held his place down. He's been a vital part, and he's shed loads of amazing games. And you listen to some City fans, and you think Grealish is like Martin Buster Phillips. He's just broken into the team. So we have to put up with this all the time, and it's embarrassing for those fans, but it's reality.
Spot on, Rich.
Yeah, you know what? Phil deserves the extra credit because unlike some of the rivals that he gets compared to, he didn't have to break through such a talented squad, especially in the positions within a midfield. Most players that kind of, get the chance, they'll maybe get an introduction or a debut defensively, or maybe they'll get a debut out as an attacking player. But to really to really break through in the midfield, especially when at the time it was Yaya, David Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, and obviously KDB. That's huge. So the only time that many rivals were able to come out and chirp and talk about Foden was last season, when he had the ankle that we weren't even privy to learn about until after the fact, to the appendicitis that he had to deal with. But before that, no one could talk to Phil. And I love the fact that now, based off of some of the bodies back, Pep has put him more centrally because he was able to get players to actually play out on the wing to kind of cover it off. Whereas Phil was being the good soldier for the club and playing wherever the manager wanted him. But we see where he shines. Like him centrally is just absolutely amazing. I'm excited to see what Pep happens to do with fully fit squad, because that's what he's going to be paid the big bucks to do. But this slander that's been happening, especially the attacks on Phil last season, he's putting all those to bed. He's putting all those discussions to bed. He's been phenomenal.
It was interesting. I was listening to an interview with Kieran Trippier the other day, and he was talking about the best trainer he'd ever worked with, the best off the pitch. And he said Phil Foden, for England, obviously for England, because he just said that basically Phil, he's never seen a footballer who can do with the ball what Phil does. And Phil's in the hotel and he'll be walking down the corridor. He'll be doing keep-ups with a little tennis ball or something as they go down the corridor. And then if they're waiting for something, Phil will have a ball out. And just saying, Phil's basically like a street, Brazilian street kid. He can do anything with a football. And he permanently seems to have a football with him, because if he has nothing to do, he's just playing with a football. And, and he also said that it's a bit like that with some of the other City players, that Grealish can be a bit like that as well. But just, Phil's best position is with a football at his feet. And you put a football at his feet, whether it's space to attack, whether it's a ball to attempt, whether it's controlling the ball down, he is just an absolutely exceptional player. And, it's a scandal. And let's be honest, it's worse than just being other fans not giving him respect. It's the England manager who should be thinking, I've got a generational talent who, is a better footballer, I think, in his capability than Paul Gascoigne, who you could be building a team around, who could be attacking any defence in any game in the world. And he's going, he doesn't play very well in midfield. I might have to see if I can play him on the left wing. And, you've got a left winger who's won everything. He can control a game. He should be playing.
According to Southgate, he's never played in midfield before and still hasn't played in midfield before. Clearly doesn't watch a game. Hence why we think Southgate is useless. No idea.
Yeah,
Greg,
yeah.
I'm totally chill, mate. It's called banter. Me and Alan have known each other for many years, mate. It's banter.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Martin enjoys me here because he can try and rip the hell out of me when it's vice versa. Good fun.
It's called banter, mate. We're all mates.
To be fair,
To be fair, but Alan, you do give him a lot of ammunition, so.
Well, exactly. It's good. Mate, it's good fun. It's good fun, mate. It's good fun. I take it as banter. And Patrick, as you know, because you go in the Imperial from time to time when you're in Melbourne, it's exactly the same in there as well. And it is.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I'll just quickly put my 2 cents in about Phil Foden as well too. I mean, you've seen what he's done since he got into the senior squad. What is it, 6-7 years ago, whatever it was. The kid was just showed glimpses of what he can be, and I think we're starting to see the fruits of our labour today. And I also give a lot of credit to Phil Foden as himself as well, being willing to put his hand up and show that he can be a versatile player, spending time on the left, spending time on the right, but now that he's taken his opportunity to be, to finally play in the position.
Here we go.
He's finally basically been allowed to play in, the position that made us all, pay attention to him when he was playing over at the Academy Stadium. So, yeah, for me, it's just like it's what we're seeing now this season from him is just leaps and bounds. And it's just you look at what he's doing now, and even with Kevin De Bruyne coming, and even with the whole discussion of like where does Alvarez go, it doesn't matter really, because Phil Foden, just the sky's the limit at the moment with what he's doing. And, you know, you can talk about it being Huddersfield, you can talk about it being the Magic Rock Brewery FC, whatever you want to call it, but you got to beat what's out there, and simple as that. He was absolutely stellar today, and I can't see any reason why next week he'll do the same. He'll back it up by putting a similar performance at St James's Park.
I think he's on, like Herbal's player, I'm sure he's on one of his best seasons. And I'm with Herbal. Stats are not everything. I get it. I'm not one of these GA people who are like, you know, sofa score. You know, these fans who sit on sofa score and go GA and goal and assist merch. You know, I'm like, well, my God. You know, I call me old. I'm still use the old. You know, they're not working as often as what they could work now because I am getting a touch old. But I'm still using the eye test. Sorry. But I know that's old-fashioned to some people now. The sofa score is now the you're laughing because you know what I mean. So sofa scores become the be-all and the end-all for rating players now, which just makes me giggle so much. Wow. No, I thought Phil Foden just, and do you know what's exciting is Pep's even said it. Not every game, but him and Kevin can play together. And that's exciting. That is just like
scary.
Wow.
It's absolutely scary. And then you also think of because of them and their versatility being on either side of the pitch. It's not like they'd be locked in and having to see the same pattern of play. They'd be all over it. It'd be so creative, so imaginative. I'm looking forward to it.
Andy says some great points being made by Pat Allen, Rich and Bater. Martin's talking a load of bullshit. You gotta love the Allen laugh. I'll be straight with you. I thought it's like I saw did anyone hear the interview by Phil Foden after the game? Because I heard some say Charlie made this point, and I do get it. I do get what someone's saying. Because I heard Anne-Marie mention it earlier on Andy's channel. He said from where I was sitting, you could see exactly how they was playing. Huddersfield was so tucked in. Gomez and Lewis so wide. We needed to quicken up the play at times. It looked too slow. And I do get that from a fan's perspective. And then I listened to Foden's interview coming back from the game, and he said, the whole idea is when you're playing teams that are so low block, and so deep and so not wanting to come out and do anything, it's then becomes a patient game. Pep says to him, just patience. Keep passing it around, and then they'll make the error. They'll make the mistake. When you find the space, that's when you get. I know, because I heard it today in the stadium, that, you know, some people want that final third, you know, final ball in quicker and sharper, and he's made a run. Why didn't the ball go there? It's simply because I've always said this: Pep is never going to give up his philosophy. I know it's a word that people hate, but pauser. Pep is not going to give away the pauser. He will not do it. He'll do it to a certain degree, like with Doku, but he's not going to fully give it all up. And I think fans just have to realise that. I know it's not to everyone's liking, fully get it, but who are we as fans to question Pep Guardiola? Yes, you can be criticised. Yep. Yes, you can constructively criticise him. Of course you can. But to me, it was one of them of patience, get the goal, and that was them game over. For me, because I don't think they were ever going to... Their only outlet was that James, is it James who was up top for them? He was the only half-decent player they actually had for me. He was the only one, because if you looked at what their game plan was, get the ball over the top.
Thomas, whatever his name was.
Was it Thomas? Whatever his name.
The Calvin Phillips lookalike.
That's all their game plan was today. Ball over the top to him. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, he's bloody quick. I'll give him that.
Of course he was, yeah.
Yeah, he was well pacey, yeah.
Thank you, Marie. I 100% agree with that. And I understand why they did use that as an outlet. But I think as soon as you got a goal went in from Foden, by the way, how he got it in from that angle. If I tried to shoot from that angle, my leg's going over my shoulder and I've snapped out for 2 years. My career's over if I'm trying to shoot from that angle.
I didn't know you go to yoga classes.
I didn't know you had a football career. But anyway.
I mean, wow.
My career
You
was
talk
over
about
before it
Dev,
started.
yeah.
I hope you see what we're like now, Greg. We like a bit of banter as well. I mean, the other day I was saying Foden hit the shot sweeter than I do with my left foot, and Rich was like, "What? You wish you had a foot
The most
like
empty compliment I've ever heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously that goal goes in, game over, and then the Akanji injury, Nunes was involved in the Alvarez build-up as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm waiting for Alan to jump.
Well, it was Nunes to Rico who pinballed it onto Alvarez, who pinballed it in.
Well, you know.
Was 2-0 a fair scoreline for you lot? No quibbles with that.
Yeah, based on chances. I mean, you know, if with the possession and the intent we had, if we'd have created good chances, it could have been 6. But we could have created, you know, for the first half hour, we didn't create that much, so it could have been 0. So I think 2's probably about right. We created two good chances and we scored 2 good chances, and that was about all you could say. But I mean, I just didn't think they looked like they were going to break and score. I mean, it didn't look like they really thought they could, and I guess that's partly the quality of, you know, a relegation championship side, you know, compared to the teams we play in the Premier League, where maybe you'd be a bit more worried, you know, if Elise or, you know, someone else has got the ball on the break.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's just,
They were well looked at.
United a bit like Huddersfield Town. I need to get. Come on, let's up it. Let's get going. Come on.
I was going to say, I thought they were organized.
You say that United are like Huddersfield Town. I thought Huddersfield were better than United in the first half. But anyway.
Oh, I mean, Stephen. Whoa. I mean, I don't know where to go with that one. Guys, the truest Foden's have the fashionable skin tone. He isn't racially ambiguous. Black and white makes like Bellingham, so the fans don't hype him as a great athlete.
I just think he's a one-player club who's not moved, and
I'm not sure about
his place for City.
Sure about the Rachel Prime.
I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think it's the fact he plays for City. And
I think there's 2 things with it. I think A, because he's English, and B, and that is because I think there is this thing around football in general that English players are overhyped a little bit.
Well, in the Prem, they're going to be overhyped because it's an English league. Like, yeah.
If they play for one of 3 clubs, if they play for United, Arsenal, Liverpool, they're overhyped, possibly Spurs. I don't think Chelsea players get overhyped in the same way. You know, I don't think, you know, when you hear the conversations for years about Lampard v Gerrard and Scholes, Gerrard is always massively overhyped. Like, you know, if you talk to a Liverpool fan, it's just a no-brainer. He's miles better than Scholes and Lampard. And if you actually look at what they achieved in the game and what they did, he's miles behind, absolutely miles behind. And that's the thing. You get this kind of like, same with Gaza. Gaza was amazing player, incredibly talented, but he achieved very little compared to what, you know, his talent and everything else could be. So he kind of stood out like an enigma at Lazio, at, you know, Spurs, at Newcastle, but he didn't really achieve. He never really did it. And I think
there was no question. No, he was the most talented player that he produced.
Whereas Foden's always had that thing that, however brilliant he is, he's been playing alongside David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero, and you know, he's been playing alongside some of the best players in the world. So he's not going to stand around as this enigma who's miles better than everyone else in the team. Because honestly, Lionel Messi could have played for City and he wouldn't, you know, have stood out like Gascoigne did, or, you know, Gerrard did at Liverpool at times. And I think, you know, that's what people forget. But at the end of the day, it's what you've actually achieved in terms of helping your side win things, achieving things, you know, winning finals and all those things. And that's what Foden is doing brilliantly. He's not flattering to deceive against Fulham and coming second in the league, which is what.
But Rich, it's just a
benchmark.
shame. It's just a shame we've got Gareth Southgate as England manager because he has not got a clue and doesn't pick him. And when they did pick him and Rashford, we tore teams apart. But he wouldn't. He just not pick him and refused to play him in midfield. He's a joke. Gareth Southgate is a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do you say Bob was average today after the match? Steam Company Oscar Bob is the real deal, and LB said he's the Norwegian diamond. It's opinions, mate. It's opinions, Stephen. Listen, I've just said I don't think he was. I think he's a diamond of a footballer. Do I think he? Again, I said both wingers were poor today. My point was Oscar Bob was on the wing at the start of the game.
Yeah.
And I don't think we used them as wingers, if that makes sense. That's not me. I'm not. It's all opinions. I'm not going to go on. If I don't, it's like other people think Diaz had a bad game today. I thought he did okay. Don't think he was spectacular. Don't think he was awful, as some people think.
Yeah, but he's a human being. He's not going to play well every week, is he? He's not going to play well. He's going to have a down.
No, but he's a young lad as well. He's a young lad.
I know he is. I know.
And I think he's going to grow into
I think people are just quick. I think just people quick to down Diaz because Gvardiol, his centre back partner, had a much better game.
So,
I think a lot of people critique one centre back having a poor performance if the centre back next to him had a better performance. That's the problem for me. That's the problem. I think Diaz was okay. It was just Gvardiol was so good. Again, comes down to my thing. It's just like the only way we could talk someone up is by talking somebody else down.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. I thought Diaz was okay. He was fine. It wasn't terrible, but he didn't blow me away either.
Yeah, and I think a lot of
Bob has got talent.
A lot of fans are looking for Diaz to kind of have the game where it takes him back to the levels because he has been under the microscope ever since Chelsea. Like we know he's not at his best, and I wouldn't say that he was horrible today, but he's not obviously also not playing at that Diaz level that we're accustomed, but he wasn't bad.
See, it's like
talking about centre backs, and look at today's game, and it's like that's why we bought Gvardiol to be a centre back. He was. I thought that was his best defensively. That was his best game this season.
No, so honestly, in games like this, people always take a piss on Jack, saying he's not direct enough in the game, he's slow. The part of the bus breaking down is what the thing is, and Andy puts this on his show a lot, it's different locks for different keys for different locks. Simple thing. There's going to be times where you're going to need a Grealish, different games you're going to need a Doku, other times you'll need an Oscar Bob. And that's the beauty of our squad. It's so versatile and so different. We don't have one player exactly the same as another player. And that's what I love about Pep Guardiola. And we don't buy the exact same either.
And don't expect any player to be at their best. You know, they're normally playing in a team where Edison is moving the ball. I know we didn't really need a goalkeeper to move the ball and pass it yesterday in the same way, but you've normally got the best passing goalkeeper in the world, and today we didn't have that. You've normally got Rodri passing and dominating the midfield. You've normally got Bernardo in there, you know, adding a bit of experience to that, you know, team of wasps buzzing around the penalty area of the opposition. So you also can't judge any player the same as you would when they're playing with the best players in the team, because the service to, you know, if you're Oscar Bob, the service to him wasn't quite as good as it could have been in other games. The defenders defending differently because they're not as good, but they're also, you know, really it was a 9-man back line across the 6-yard box a lot of the time. I mean, it was made Sheffield United look like an attacking, you know, Barcelona 2009 team. It's just that's the way it is.
Yeah, apparently that is breaking in the last sort of 20 minutes. Madrid to Mbappe and Madrid have agreed for the summer. Just need to go and find where
that's obvious, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Liverpool fans will be melting down now, aren't they? We've not got him.
Well, probably that's why they want to go to the Super Leagues. They want to pay his wages. Simple that. Ortega, I thought had a very good game. you can see why the rumours are at the moment he may leave in the summer because he wants a number one berth. These are just rumours at the moment. But you can see why, because I thought when he had to do anything today, I thought he did it excellently. 2 good saves, one in the first half, one in the second half.
He's a quality keeper.
Yeah.
The quality.
He is. He's just, yeah. I mean, he comes in. The only difference is he's a very good passer of the ball and everything. He's just not Edison. But then no other goalkeeper in the world's Edison when it comes to.
You'll find every couple of years we have to swap our number 2 because they deserve to play on a regular basis, and they do. They're not going to. It's not going to happen at City.
Vates will be back in a minute. He's just had to nip somewhere. Bad atmosphere. No, just bad atmosphere. It wasn't a bad atmosphere. It wasn't like bad. It was just there's only the south stand and certain other sections that generally over about 3/4 of the stadium is just not with it at the moment. And I don't think it's a City problem. I think it's a generational thing now. I think it's a generational society thing at the moment because you're getting it all over England now in most stadiums. Just one of them things. I think it'll come back. It will do. I will agree with that. I think if Foden did play for Real Madrid or someone, you wouldn't hear the end of it. Mark Fogg, again, I can't believe every showmate now has gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Mark Fogg,
brilliant,
honestly, mate, it's every show. We cannot thank you enough, mate. Thank you so much. And everyone's just saying thank you so much. Kylian Mbappe turns to Premier League after rejecting Madrid. What? Has he rejected? I don't know what's got. Has he rejected it or is he come in? If someone keeps updating on this story, because it's now changing as it goes.
I really wouldn't spend too much time worrying about it.
No, I'm not worried because I don't want him at center. Sub 2 a lot of the love. Mark Legg, Mark Fogg is a legend so much. So is everyone in the chat as well. Grealish to the new Gascoigne, but with the medals.
People, just before we say anything too, Mbappe to Madrid is exactly what we want because then it takes Madrid away from possibly trying to go after Haaland.
Spot on.
You're welcome.
Spot on. See, Pat's not just a pretty face. For the people with glasses. Anyway, Southgate is a championship manager level at the very best.
And a dog and a stick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vate will be back in a minute. He's just nipped out somewhere. I'm trying to get Andy on, but he won't come on. Jacob Wright, another jewel we found. Talk about it if you want. Do you know what it is? I don't get excited about the youngsters anymore.
Especially 20-minute cameos when you're 4-5-0 up. It's just,
you know why?
It's hard to, but
because I don't know if they're going to be in 3 years, Alan.
I think Oscar Bob has got what it takes to make it, but whether he's going to get the opportunity or not is another matter, isn't it? He certainly looks classy to me, but he's a kid at the moment. He's up and down in his performances, which is natural for a young lad. So it's going to happen.
I want to keep him 100%.
I do, mate. I wanted to keep Cole Palmer, but there we go.
But the problem is they want to play.
I agree with you, Martin.
And then we're right back into ground.
It frustrates me when you see Cole Palmer playing well for Chelsea. I'm thinking he should be at City. And that's I've always said that.
But City bigger? No, City better than Chelsea. I won't say bigger.
Well, I'm not saying that. But it's like the lad that's gone to Sheffield United. I would love to see him play for City. Love to.
So who would you drop for him?
This is the problem. I don't want to.
I know.
This is the problem. Yeah. But I would love to see McAtee get a run at City and prove himself. I really would.
It's the hard thing, though, isn't it? I mean, we all want Foden to play with De Bruyne, and as soon as Foden plays with De Bruyne, you're counting out any of those attacking midfielders for being anything other than a backup berth. And honestly, you've got. I mean, I'm so excited by Docky. I really think, in terms of a direct attacking winger, attacking a fullback with pace, going either side. Can you see any other footballer in Europe who, who has that potential to just destroy defenders in a one-on-one?
Sane's got that, but he doesn't track back. So that's the same
Yeah,
thing.
he's also, but Sane's the finished product. Doku's got, Doku's played a few months with a top team. So to me, I love what Grealish offers in terms of that control. I love what Doku offers. I think Bernardo's truly world class and needs game time. You've got Foden needs game time. You've got De Bruyne needs game time. So you've got to find a player who can just slide in and out, play half an hour, play any of those positions. And that's the problem. I think, Palmer knew he just wasn't going to get the role he wanted at City because Foden is light years better than Palmer. And that's just the reality. And if we have to choose between one or the other, what City fans going to say, no, I want to play Palmer and drop Foden? No one. Yeah. And that's, the next chance when De Bruyne goes in, whether that's a year, 2, 3 years time, then there's a chance for a first team berth at City.
What do you do with the youngster we just signed from Argentina for 25 million then, Rich?
Well, exactly. That's my point. You've then got to compare Echeverry against.
There you go. That's the problem. Bob was all right today. You see, Rico was having a mare game. I've seen a lot of people think Rico was a bit, put it bluntly, mare today.
Well, it happens today for young lads are never consistent. They're not. That's they lack experience to deal with a game when they're not playing so well.
No, but this is why we love things like this. It's all opinions. We all see the game in a different viewpoint at a different time. We're not all going to say playing like Foden, who's amazing.
Yeah, who in world football though? Honestly, in our rivals, is a player who can come in like Rico, play number 10, buzz around, pretty much play number 10, buzz around the penalty box with delicate passes, and then suddenly fly back to right back. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to remember what Rico's 18, 19, might turn 19 now. And he's basically he's made his international debut and played at left back on the wrong side of the pitch and arguably been the best player in that game. He plays for City and he's asked to combine being a 10 with being a fullback. I mean, he's an incredibly talented footballer, but I didn't actually pick out any of them particularly apart from Foden for that. I just thought the thing is we looked like we had a team of wasps outside their box and we had Grealish, Bob, Lewis, Alvarez, all these players buzzing around, doing nice little passes, laying off the ball, keeping possession, and they all fitted in. They all fitted into the team. None of them made mistakes. Only Foden probably of all of them brought that bit of magic to actually create something on his own. But all of them, created chances, kept the ball, were looking like they were a very working part of the machine. I think it was only Foden who was kind of able to just step above the others and just create real magic on his own. The others just did their job. And that's what Pep wants them to. He wants them to come in, not make mistakes, and learn to have the confidence to do that extra bit of magic.
So he's like top of the league player, really disc players. Only one that continually disappoints me is Grealish. Great lad, just willing to be more positive. That's not Jack's game, top of the league. That's not Jack's game. This is my point. That's Doku's game. People wanting Jack to do something Jack is not.
Jack doesn't lose the ball.
It's like top of the league. It's like asking Doku at the moment, great going forward, but asking him to go back and track back. He won't.
Correct.
Because he's got to learn that in his game.
Or if he does, he doesn't know how.
What is it? When it comes down to a fan's preference on the game style, then. Like, that's what Nunes is trying to impress and force in it. I think he's doing well. Alan thinks he's a panic buy. That's opinions. This is why I love these things.
I think the reality's in the middle. It certainly wasn't, to me, a panic. The very definition of a panic buy is a player you haven't looked at, you haven't thought about, you haven't considered. And I think it's absolutely clear City have watched Nunes for 3 or 4 years. like Paquetá. We've watched Paquetá for 4 years. If we sign him, he is a
Stop
panic
calling him
signing.
Paquetá. It's not an
Paquetá.
Amazon package.
Well, I talked to Mrs. Paquetá, and she told me that's how you call it.
You know, personally, did she give you a Brazilian dance?
She did.
He went off injured. He went off
That's,
injured against Bristol too.
That's Sandy at 93.20.
Yeah. So I just think, you know, we don't make panic signings. Even the ones that we call panic signings, we've scouted for 3 or 4 years. And the fact that Pep, on a number of occasions, has talked about Núñez in the past shows it wasn't panic. It was opportunistic. We needed a player.
Bullshit.
But he's been someone on a list for years. You can go back and listen to the interviews when we played Sporting Lisbon. He singled him out in both.
We've signed Núñez and he's a load of crap. Is it?
No. I'm talking about before when we played against Sporting Lisbon in both press conferences. Pep talked about him. Talked about him at length. He actually described him, one of them, as one of the best players in the world. And
that was 3 years ago. He hasn't progressed.
We had scouts on him, and we've had scouts on him that whole time. So you might not think he's done brilliantly, and he hasn't settled in yet. But the reality is, he wasn't a panic buy. He's a player we've scouted for 5 years.
Mate,
considerably, and Pep likes.
When we couldn't get Paquetá, as you keep saying. But 2 days later, we've got Núñez because we couldn't get him.
We signed by that logic. Ruben Diaz is a panic signing because Ruben Diaz was one of 3 on a list, and he was probably the 3rd on that list. And we wanted Koulibaly, and we worked on Koulibaly, and we worked on Diaz in the background. Núñez is just a signing like Diaz was when you know, we tried to sign 3 years ago Mbappe. We desperately wanted Mbappe before he went to Paris, but then we changed our long-term striker move to Haaland. That's just the reality of it. It's not panic. We didn't panic sign Haaland. We didn't panic sign Diaz. We had a team of players we look at.
Tell me, when we signed him,
we go for what we can.
When we signed it, Núñez, didn't you not scratch your head? Because I'm thinking, why have we gone for him? It smelled of a panic buy. It smelled to me of a player we've looked at for many, many years, and we think the price is right. Mm-hmm. And that's the way we so often work. You know, we walked away from players like Koulibaly because of the price, and we went for Diaz because the price was right. And we do that so often. We have a list of players, and when we think the price is right, we go for them. And we got the squad place, we go for them. Yeah.
Now, we'll see how he turns out. I think he's...
Exactly. We'll see how he turns out.
The jury's out for me. I've seen some good things and some not good things.
Go back to that show. I didn't say City were getting Mbappe. Never said they were getting him. I said City were interested. Difference. I only ever say interested. I never say they're done. I always say never 100%. Interest and everything else is very different. I've never once said
he's having a go. He's Pardo's having a go at you, Pat Martin here. Jesus.
Well, go back and watch the show.
I know.
Even on that show, somebody even said Martin's never said it was happening. I said they were looking. Is what I was told.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I'm not in the bloody negotiating room with them. The atmosphere problem is in every team. That's the point. It's every team at the moment that's got the atmosphere problem. I do think you're being very harsh on Núñez, Alan. And I only say it in all seriousness, let's take the banter aside. The point is, I thought you'd have learned after Rodri and after Bernardo and everything else in the first season. I thought you'd have learned.
Yeah, nothing would please me more if he proved me wrong. But at the moment, he needs to prove me wrong.
I don't think he's doing bad.
He's not exactly doing well either.
What do you mean by well?
Well, he keeps on losing the ball for me. You know, I don't think he's a standard that we require. And if we get another midfielder in, which is potential there is, that puts him miles behind the pecking order, and it does.
I think where it stands out, and this is, and you know, we have players who we let lose the ball, and you know, because they take high risk passes, etc. And I think, you know, De Bruyne's been our main player who we allow to lose the ball because we let him try a magic pass, and around him we've had Gundo and, you know, Grealish Bernardo and players in the past who generally don't lose the ball. And
Yeah.
I think one thing that Pep's going to have with Núñez and potentially a little bit with Foden, if Foden's playing with De Bruyne, is he's going to have to make sure that we don't have 3 or 4 players all playing the same time we lose the ball because they take high risk. He's going to have to temper it. And I think Foden and De Bruyne will be the ones who you can lose the ball. And I think what we'll see is Grealish and to a degree Doku as well. Doku sometimes not taking the high risk cross and stopping having beaten a man and passing it back, because we'll want them to keep the ball if Grealish and Foden are going to be the ones, taking that high risk and knocking, because when it comes to that, you just want the highest, output. So if De Bruyne takes a lot of risky passes, but a third of them end in goals, that's fantastic. But probably with Núñez at the moment, it would be 10% might end with goals or something like that. So he's got to improve that, working with City in training. And he's also got to be encouraged, instead of 10 passes that are risky, take 5 and take the 5 that are going to work and keep the ball 5 times. And then I think he'll start to fit in more. To me, I think, I'm not sure if it's Martin or Pat who said it before, but Núñez is for his age, he's a little bit raw. And I think he's got more learning to make than a lot of players that age who come in as a finisher.
He said that, Rich. He did an interview. He's going to learn that.
How old is he? How old is Núñez?
25.
Yeah, he's not exactly a spring chicken, is he?
No, but he's got a lot of. I think he can learn a lot.
Mm. Well, let's hope he improves. Let's hope he proves me wrong.
I just think, Alan. I just think he's in the middle. I just think he's in the middle of a double reset. He had a season at Wolves under a completely different. And let's not forget too, his first season in England, he played at a club where they went through to 2 managers.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Then to come to Pep, that's basically a reset on top of a reset. So the kid needs at least a season to bed in. He may even need 2. So I'm not hurrying with him. I'm giving him all the time in the world he wants, because that sort of thing could do to a player with the wrong mentality can actually ruin their career. So for me, it's just, I think he just needs to be just bedded in at the right times. It seems like Pep's doing that. So for now, I just think whatever game time he does, it's just make the most of what you've got. And if it's not going to blow you away, then that's fine. But I think given these last 12, 18 months and that, I think he should, I wouldn't say he's immune, but maybe you shouldn't critique him as much now as it may be justifiable in say 2 or 3 years time. So give Núñez time. I think it's a good project, and I think there is a player in there. There is something that Pep has seen, something that is the reason why we sit in the stands and he sits on the touchline. So for me, I just think he needs time.
I just need to point this out. Top of the league, he puts Steve. My point is keeping the ball, but no end product. How many goals and assists does Jack have this season in 12 appearances? Top of the league. He's
not a fan, is he?
No, but when people say he does nothing, he's on course to have better stats than last season. And I said to you, last season he had similar stats to Gundogan.
Yeah, let's face it. The way we played last season,
I don't know what
suits Jack really well, on the basis that we won every single trophy that was out there, and Jack was a main part of that. They're talking nonsense.
So I have to drop.
I know you have to drop, mate.
I've got to go. I've got to go soon as well, Martin, because I've got work I need to do. All right.
Thanks, everyone. Amazing performance. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah.
Night all. Or morning.
See you, Rich.
Kevin De Bruyne, cheers, Rich. Kevin De Bruyne, the king is back.
Brilliant. Good to see.
He's back with an impact.
Let's hope he stays fit.
Yeah, I can understand why a few of the older generation would have been taken back to a certain Mr. Colin Bell's return from a long-term injury as well. Certainly sounds in the crowd there, and I'm sure a few would have taken their minds back too. So, I think for anybody younger who might have had an understanding of what Colin Bell meant to this club, look at it through the way that Kevin De Bruyne, the reception he got coming on the pitch today, I think. Yeah, it was pretty. Even on TV, it was pretty special to watch.
I was there for when Colin Bell came back against Newcastle, mate, and it was very excitable. That's all I can say. Or certainly Kipax.
Yeah.
Listen, I think KDB will get more and more minutes as you go along. Pep said it afterwards. It's about building his minutes up now. He'll get more minutes. He'll get more minutes probably than at Newcastle than what he got today. And then the next game, more minutes, and then you build his body up.
Yeah.
So, you're right. No, it wasn't my ITK who told me about Pardo. It was somebody else who told me about Mbappe. And no, I didn't say it was nailed on. I'll tell you what, I will find you the video that tells you. Because I never said that, because somebody even came in to the stream and went, Martin never said that. You're all hearing what you want to hear.
Correct.
I never once said it was 100%. I said there was interest, and that's what I was told by somebody else who gave me the info.
If Real Madrid want to pay stupid wages, then carry on.
I think that's what he's saying, that Nunes isn't his level. I think he's saying Nunes is not City's level.
Correct. Good play in the right team, but not for us.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think, what else was there? 5-0. The draw is tomorrow night at 7:50. Who do you fancy? You want a home? I presume you all want a home tie.
Home tie against anyone.
Anyone?
Anyone.
You'd have Liverpool at home.
As long as it's home, not at Anfield. I don't want them at Anfield because we don't do particularly well down there.
Do you know what I mean? Because do you know what I love? I love that Pat takes his cup so serious. Love it. I love that he takes it so serious. But a simple fact that you saw today that Arsenal got a complex at the moment because all in their minds, in their heads is the league and the Champions League. Yeah. And when you are a club starving of success, for me, any trophy. This is why I always say you should never disregard any trophy.
No.
Any trophy is an absolute something to be celebrated. Because as quickly as you're winning them, you can stop winning them. And I don't like too many teams are throwing away great cup competitions. I hate it. It really bugs me.
To be fair, this year, though, Martin, I don't think there's any team that's got total consistency. I think we're all guilty of losing the odd game and not playing well occasionally. And Arsenal are going through that now. We went through it for 4 or 5 games, didn't we? So we were drawing, though, not losing.
Who would I like to draw against? So, yeah, Alan, I'd say the same. At home, anyone. Away, I think just because the away day traveller in me would like to, maybe somewhere I hadn't been before, maybe like a Coventry away or Blackburn away or something, somewhere where we haven't been in a while.
Well, we'll see. We will see tomorrow night, won't we? As long as it's not Anfield, because I'm sorry, we don't do
Aldershot.
They went through, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, hang on.
Maidstone.
Didn't they all lose?
That Aldershot got a draw, didn't they?
Didn't Aldershot? No. Who did West Brom beat 4-1?
Oh no, it was. Yeah, so it's Maidstone I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Aldershot got beat 4-1. I'm thinking of Maidstone.
Yeah.
Martin, I'm going to I've got some work I need to do. All right. So
Maidstone beat Stevenage. Yeah.
Yeah, I will speak to you later, Pat. I'll see you soon. I'm in Sydney in a couple of weeks, so I'll catch up with you there.
Sounds good, Alan. I'll make sure I'm in Melbourne.
Cheers, mate. Ta-ra. Bye-bye.
Good evening, Coffee. How are you? Hope you're looking forward to the game, and we will start our build-up to the Newcastle game on next week.
Oh, Coffee must be buzzing after the derby win.
I know, but I thought they went a bit OTT with the photos.
What do you mean? What photos? What do you mean?
They all did a big team photo in front of the
Ah, right, yeah. Okay.
I thought it was like they'd want you do that at cup finals.
Yeah,
That's something you do
or
at
end
cup
of season.
final.
Yeah. Okay. No, fair
You do that in cup finals. Personally, that's just me anyway.
Yeah.
I think I get what Newcastle are doing. I just think it opens yourself up to criticism doing that a little bit. But I do get it, you know. Wrexham, you want Wrexham? Yeah, I see it. Away or at home? That's true, Charlie. It was emotional when he come on. Wigan? No, I never want Wigan
No,
in competition. Avoid Wigan because every time we get Wigan, we lose. Whether it's at the Etihad or at the DW or whatever it is now.
Or at Wembley.
No, I don't ever want to see
Wigan. I wouldn't even play Wigan in an egg and spoon race, mate. Like
the last time we got Wigan away is I nearly ended up in a riot and I didn't really like it because anyone who was at that game when it all kicked off, it was not nice. I had my children with me. It was an awful experience.
Yeah.
My children should not have seen what they saw at that game at Wigan, where there was, you know, sponsorship boards being thrown around and horses being hit, and all. It wasn't a nice thing to watch.
Oh, did you get hit?
No, it was. I don't know if you remember it. It was absolutely all. You know the one that Fabian Delph got sent off from. No, yeah, horse.
Yeah, I remember. And didn't Aguero getting a bit of Sergio got in a bit of an altercation with someone too?
Yeah, it was a real bad experience that. And the thing was, you could tell it was going to happen because I said in the 80th minute, I went, these are all going to pitch invade.
Yeah.
So I was sat in the away end with my daughter, my son, and my nephew, and I went, and you know when you can start seeing the fans coming down, they were all starting to come down to the front, and I went, they're coming on.
Yeah.
I could just sense they were coming on. And the police did nothing. The police were just not ready for it.
No.
And then they were all celebrating in the middle, and then they all started marching to the away end. And that's when it just went off. I just think there's too many teams that are disregarding and disrespecting the FA Cup. And I don't like it.
Yeah, I love the respect that Pep has for it. I really do.
And the thing is, when you win, whether it's a League Cup or an FA Cup, that breeds confidence. That breeds a winning mentality. Yeah. You don't jump from not winning the league in 20 years to just suddenly winning it. It don't work like that. It takes a building process. And if you go back to when we did it, the FA Cup was the first thing we won in God knows how long. Since 76. It was the first thing we'd won. So, you know what I mean? That meant something when we beat it. When we beat United and we beat Stoke in that semi-final and final, that meant a lot. So I don't understand the attitude from some Premier League managers. I really don't get it. Maidstone are in the conference. They are. Loads of people want Wigan.
You can throw West Brom in there too because I've been there and it's quite an easy going away.
My mate lost his car at West Brom.
Oh God.
Wigan. Everyone wants Wigan. Maidstone away. Look, listen, whoever it gets, City will pay the respect. Because I remember we played Swindon at the county ground. I don't remember call it anymore. Was it last season when Palmer scored? Season before. I remember we played Diaz and all them. Didn't we play Peterborough as well?
Yeah. And
Diaz played. Pep does respect this competition.
Yeah.
And that's why I love
it. I think was it Cheltenham too, where I think they were just sort of coming out of the they're just finally coming out of COVID and that. And I think, you know, obviously they had the old like sort of Sunday league sort of away locker room and that, but I believe all the players gave gave everyone, all the Cheltenham players, like a signed shirt or something like that. Because for COVID, they couldn't actually give them their match shirts, but they made sure they had a signed shirt or something for each player in that, which I thought was a really nice touch as well. I think Spurs did the same thing too when they played Marine.
I love
Remember that match where they played
Formidables, but we'd smash Wigan home and away. Come on now. You'd think we would, but we didn't. We didn't beat them. Sponsorship boards being thrown, horses being slapped, sounds like Main Road. It actually was. I enjoyed the derby win after 13 years where we finally beat the group at the end just to wind up the Sunderland fans at home. Yeah, Coffee, listen, I think I'm confident about next week, but we'll see. I'm confident. I think you'll get in us at the wrong time. I think we're just starting to go in our little momentum run.
Starting to cook a little, yeah.
But we're starting to come out of third gear now. But we'll say, listen, you got to respect.
Sorry, mate. So let me get this right. So we played the next round of the FA Cup the last sort of weekend of this month.
Yes.
There will be enough time to go and do their warm weather training in Abu Dhabi, I'm sure, because you've got Burnley on the 31st. So that would suggest that whoever we draw, they'd easily have to play the match on they'd have to play on like a Friday night or something, or the 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday, surely.
I don't think, because from looking at it for the City fixtures, we've got Newcastle next week, as you know, and then we've got nothing till the 31st. But we play the FA Cup weekend, fourth round. What dates have you got there?
I believe it's the last weekend of January, so it would be like the like the 20. Let's assume that they'll have matches on the Friday night, so it'd be like the 26th, basically through to Sunday the 28th.
27th.
And they were, keep in mind, they were playing matches on a Thursday night too. Palace Everton was a Thursday night as well.
Does that mean the Burnley game gets postponed?
No, because it plays midweek. It's on a Wednesday night. Yeah. It's on a Wednesday night, so I'm sure they'll make a weekend.
We'll be at
match
the weekend. We'll be at the weekend.
Yeah,
so we'll be the
but
weekend.
I could see it being. You know what it is? I think if we play away, I could see it being a Friday night match. If it's at home, I could see it being a Saturday midday match.
See, I'm in the cup scheme. And the reason I'm in the cup scheme this year is because I want to take my lad to an away game in the FA Cup.
So for your sake, man, I hope you get like Blackburn away or something like that. Because I think...
Because I want to take my lad to a proper away revenge season. Everyone's saying revenge season on the Wigan situation. Dippers at home, then it's an easy ride. You know, part of the reason, because obviously it'd be good to get United away, take my lad to the United game.
Of course, yeah.
Wigan play the Rags tomorrow night. I'll be honest with you, I do want United to go through because I want United away. I want to smash them at the Swamp. That's why I want United through, because I want to smash them at the Swamp. Knowing our luck, I think they'll give us another hard draw in the next round of the FA Cup. Listen, it's going to be fun. This is why I love it. You get round and you're all a bit nervous who you're going to get. That's why I love the FA Cup. And I think it's disrespected by too many people. But anyway, that's the end of that. Manchester City have done a 5-star performance today. And I still don't think we were in 4th, 5th gear. I think we were fine. I am going to do a Twitter space in about 20 minutes, half an hour. I'll start it. We're going to do a Twitter space where we'll talk a bit more about this if anyone wants to come on. There's no news on transfers at all. So there's no updates or whatever. So I don't know anything at the moment. The only thing I did get told was Kimmich was unlikely now because the chances of Tuchel being there in the summer was slim. Reportedly, I'm going to start using that word reportedly now better. Reportedly, I read on Twitter and there was other places as well, as that Alonso's fancied by Bayern.
You can just smell it, can't you? You can smell in the summer. Alonso's going to go to Bayern. And he'll take Wirtz with him as well.
So we'll see. We'll see. Take care, Coffee, and obviously we'll
See you,
speak
mate.
to you in the week, mate, on the build-up, because I'm hoping to get a couple of Newcastle fans on Thursday night. And obviously vice versa, I'll go over there and we'll have a chat. Yeah, Dyer going to Bayern. I still can't believe that's happening. This is where my head's gone with transfers now. Eric Dyer's going in New Bayern.
Yeah.
Jesus.
What do you make of Werner going to Spurs?
Again, I don't know what. Are we in silly season? How's Timo Werner got himself to Spurs, and how's Eric Dyer got himself to Bayern? And plus, I think we need to see how bad is Kanji's injury. Because if Kanji's injured and Stones is injured, would City need to have a double there? I don't know. Because Pep was very cryptic in his press conference, wasn't he, when he said, we're not talking with anyone at the moment, but maybe one. Well, if you're not talking to anyone, how maybe one? And the weird thing is, and then it came out, remember it came out about 2 months ago that City tried to get Cucurella in on loan last January. And no one knew about it.
Yeah.
And you think, wow, Cucurella, where did that one come from?
There's a lot of red herrings.
Yeah, great stream.
I'll
Thank you.
throw stories out there to
new,
distract you from something else that's going on. It's always
exactly.
Yeah.
If you are new, please smash that subscribe button. All the links to our shows, to other channels are down in the description. We will be back. We'll get something up before Thursday. We'll come back and do something before Thursday. Whether it's just me and Pat or whatever, we'll do something because I don't want to leave it from now till Thursday. Make sure if you're new, hit that subscribe. We're at less than 120 away now from 3,000. We are edging so close. Don't forget to be a subscriber as well. You will win the chance to win the £50 City gift voucher or the £20 gift voucher, which we will do during the winter break, plus the treble winning medal giveaway as well. We're going to have a big quiz night, and first and second prize will get something. And you just have a few drinks. We'll have a laugh and test your City knowledge. So, yeah, that should
drinks
be...
for breakfast. I can't wait.
Pardon?
Drinks for breakfast. I can't wait.
It'll be a good night. But, yeah, thank you all. City into the fourth round of the hat. We may renew something tomorrow night. Keep an eye on it because the fourth round draws there. But it depends if everyone else is doing one. I'm not going to fight everyone else to get.
I can jump in, mate. I'm late start tomorrow. I can jump in if you want to do
I'm thinking
something.
about if every other City channel's doing one.
Yeah,
we're all going to fight for each other's views because we're all watching the same thing, aren't we?
Yeah, but all that graphic design for nothing, mate. Come on.
Good point. Look at you there. He's liking the graphics now.
Yeah, come
on.
Come on. Everybody loves your iPad case. Come on.
Yeah. iPad case. Yeah. Keep an eye on our horses here. But yeah, half an hour, I'll do a Twitter space. Take care. And yes, City are on the trophy march again. Take care, all. And we'll see you on the next one.